Okay, so this is part 2 of my angel dream. And I wake up from my dream, and I'm at a friend's house, and there was a ton of religious, Catholic, particularly decor, paintings, palm leaves. And I probably will get into this part of the story, but I was raised Catholic, K through 12. I haven't been practicing Catholicism per se, but I consider myself a Christian and a Jesus follower, and I've been doing that for years. I don't know why I'm struggling amongst my words right now. I'm just really want to get this right, because I just feel like it's such an important message, and if it wasn't, I wouldn't have done this. But I can't wait any longer. I got a sign yesterday that said you're waiting too long, and then tonight's you can't keep this a secret. So anyway, I wake up from this dream, and I'm kind of dazed, very peaceful, just pure peace, happiness, joy, immense love. I consider myself a big lover. I almost love too much unconditionally, or it's not important, but just the most euphoric, peaceful love that you could ever have. And I knew it was the peace of God and heaven. I didn't want it to go away, and I was laying in bed, and I was repeating the dream out loud to a friend of mine, and I was telling them what happened, and I just felt the most warmth ever. It was I had just been completely cleansed of all my sins. So if you know me, you probably know I've had some rough go of it. And there's been a lot of people that have hurt me, and just a lot of hardship and trauma that I've focused on overcoming, and I could picture these people in my head that have hurt me, and I thought they were so beautiful. I did not anymore fault them. I loved everybody, and everything looked so beautiful, and I felt so just back connected with God very closely, to the point that it was nothing that I had been so stressed out about in my life is going to matter or has ever mattered. I walked away from the dream, however you want to word that, feeling like my biggest takeaway at the moment was that I should not worry, that there's nothing to be worried about. I drove home, and I was going down the street that is not a pretty street at all. It's pretty insignificant. And the buildings, the homeless people, the people walking, the cars, the sky, the fast food restaurants. Honestly, everything just looks so beautiful. I was looking at it through God's eyes. So this feeling lasted for a few days. And then I got to my parents' house, and I questioned, do I tell them? Do I not tell them? There was a lot of chatter going around, just amongst my family, and there was a silent moment, and I almost didn't speak up, but I did. And I was like, hey, you guys, Mom and Dad, I had this dream, and I wanted to share it with you. And so I walked them through the dream, and I had already kind of woken up from the dream and been doing some research that really led me to understand some more significant, deeper meanings that I don't know if I will get to today. Probably not. to be honest with you. But I get done with telling them the story, and I had this experience when I was a freshman in high school where the Holy Spirit entered my body, and I will tell that story. But the feeling that I had during the moment where the Holy Spirit entered my body is the closest thing that I felt when I woke up from this dream. So I tell my parents that, and my mom keeps a calendar with like so many details, like every detail about everybody and all vacations and all this stuff. And so my dad says, well, that's interesting because it's the anniversary of when you went to Italy and you had that experience. And I was like, no way. You got to be kidding me. So I go and look at the calendar, and it showed that I had left for this trip to Italy in the year 2000 for the World Youth Day with Pope John Paul II on August 9th. And it's a great story. I will tell that. I had told that on social media before when I've talked previously about why I believe that Jesus and God exists. Have I been perfect and followed my faith perfectly? No. Have I lost faith at times? 100%, yes. So this was when I was 14. But with the dates and the way that they line up, the dream that I experienced would have been 25 years since the anniversary of this experience with the Holy Spirit. I thought that was so insanely significant. And I remembered hearing that there was something very special about this time period in the Catholic Church that is said to have like an extra spiritual connection or something like that with God. And so I, at some point, several days after telling my parents, got around to Googling what it was. And it's this Catholic Jubilee, and it happens like every 25 years. So basically, this dream that I had was a 25-year anniversary of this childhood experience where the Holy Spirit entered my body. Now, when I was, one other thing, and I'm definitely going to have to do a part 3, but there is this moment when I was a kid, when I was, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 years old. I don't even think I was in kindergarten yet. It was Christmas Eve, and I was in my church in my hometown where I'm from in Iowa, and they called the children up to go and sit in front of the altar, and we were read like a book, like a little storytelling time, and then they dismissed us to go back to our parents, and I could not remember where my parents were. Like, I could not remember where we were sitting. I didn't know where to go, and I was lost, and I was getting scared, and I was kind of starting to cry. So I went up to the priest, and I get picked up by what should have been the priest, but my whole life, I felt like I was picked up by Jesus, and a very, very tall figure. And so I was like way up in the air being held by Jesus. And it was like, you know, whose child is this? And then my mom came over and got me, and then like Jesus, or honestly, I'm not sure like if it went back to the priest, and then, but either way, I was passed back to my parents. And then, so I've had like a few significant things, including like, you know, a driving experience where I was on my first meeting or on my way, I got my driver's license, was on my way to a confirmation meeting with my confirmation mentor. And this was after my Italy experience. And I almost got in a car accident, and something took my wheel and got me to the side of the road, and we only clipped each other's mirrors off. So I just had like a few experiences throughout my life. I'm going to pause the video here, and we're just going to have to dive into part 3. I'll try to get it all done in one session.